Welcome on the Score Day within the Colosseum Sports Tech Serbia program. Our mission of the program remains the same: to boost innovations in sport and connect the relevant sports tech stakeholders from Serbian ecosystem with international players. The Science Technology Park Belgrade and Colosseum Sport Israel, as partners, strongly believe that Serbia has a great potential in this industry owing to its outstanding achievements in sports. Needless to say, Serbia is homeland of a number of well-known athletes, great young engineers, and creative minds. However, when we speak about the Serbian startup ecosystem, we usually mention two challenges: a lack of international partnerships and therefore need for more networking with global players, and lack of smart money and therefore need for links to experts and investors with specific knowledge. So to address these issues, we are organizing Score Day to help 6 Serbian sports tech startups to meet with experts from the industry in order to attract their attention and make potential partnerships for the future. Before we meet 6 fantastic Serbian startups, let me express our deep gratitude and introduce representatives of successful ecosystems and world-class organizations that will have, let's say, judge role on today's event. Mr. Julie Perret-Nadal from Monaco, expert who has worked with FC Barcelona, S Monaco, FIBA, FIFA Beach Soccer, etc. Mr. Nadal is a sports marketing, sponsorship, commercial, and partnerships expert. Mr. Nadal is great to have you here with us. Rej Valia from Canada, CEO of Launch Ventures, serial entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in both entertainment and technology sectors. He's also investor. Rej, thank you for joining us. Alex George from Central Europe. He's a part of Credo Ventures team, an early stage VC fund that invests in Central Eastern Europe region. He has experience in working with startups from Europe that want to scale in the USA. Alex, thank you for dedicating your time. And Daniel Muniz Silva from Spain, serial entrepreneur and investor with experience of working with startups and on the several continents. Daniel, we are glad that we are part of your mission to democratize entrepreneurship. We have the same values. I'm Bojan, and it's my pleasure to be your host today. Before we start with pitching sessions, we have pleasure to have Timothy Deschamps, Managing Director of Colosseum Sport, our partner organization, with us today. Tim will tell us more about the trends in sports tech in 2021. Tim, it's great to collaborate with you, and thank you for being with us. The digital floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bojan, and thank you to all for joining us, and appreciate also the experts that are joining us today. So it's great to see you all in familiar faces. So yeah, I will. So I'm Tim. I'm the managing director at Colosseum. We've been launching this initiative with you, the STP Belgrade. It's been a great journey so far, and we can't wait to see what's coming next in terms of scaling this ecosystem. And so this event is part of this mission, and we're very happy to be here. I just want to take the next five minutes to give you a broad overview of some of the trends we're seeing at Colosseum in terms of the sports industry and the sports tech ecosystem. So obviously, I just want to start with this quote from one of the most powerful sports executive and leader, Adam Silver from the NBA. So he's saying technology is changing the world, it's changing our sports, it's changing the way people are following the NBA. And so the sports industry is not immune to change, and the technology transformation and digital transformation that we've been witnessing in so many other industries is now making a very strong impact on sports. And it's been accelerated, obviously, by the recent crisis. What we've been seeing is that new customer needs are appearing, new consumer habits from the core customer, the fans, with the needs for speed, personalization, high quality, diversification, content, with a competition for attention that has been rising across the board. And this has been coupled with the rise of new technologies, right? Some of them are here, 5G, OTT, 4K, but many others, blockchain, artificial intelligence. And so all of that kind of calls for transformation, right? And in the case, if we go back to the NBA example, we can see over the last few years, the diversification of the NBA business, launching a junior league for boosting youth participation, expanding their streaming platforms, launching an esports leagues, which was a brave move at the time, and now is being followed by so many other sports properties. So those are the kind of the macro trends that we're seeing. And obviously, when talking about sports tech, we have to put it in context of the biggest tech trends that we're seeing for the next decade, right? So all of those buzzwords that you're seeing in other industries, such as artificial intelligence, wearables, blockchains, cloud, cybersecurity, all of those sooner or later are having a big impact on the sports, the way sports businesses operate, and the way also startups are positioning themselves in this space. But if you look more closely at some of the opportunities and threats that we're seeing in the industry, this has been a survey that conducted by PwC, which kind of rose three main opportunities for sports industry this year. We see enhanced digital media fan experience. So going back to the new consumer habits, the need to bridge the physical world and the digital world into building integrated fan experiences. The creation and monetization of digital assets. So going a step further than the engagement, but also monetizing those digital assets. And then more from a broadcast and streaming parts, the innovation, media rights, packaging, and distribution. And I think we have Julie Ferre on the line, which is a much more of an expert than me on those topics. And on the other side, you're facing some threats. You have the impact of the health and safety crisis, obviously following the current context, the reduced financial resources to invest and innovate. So this is a challenge. And the dominance of major tech firms as gateway to content, just because we're not competing with each other anymore. We're competing with the entertainment world. We're competing for the attention of our final consumers, our fans. And so at Colosseum, we're witnessing the sports tech world very closely. And we've seen following last year's that the sports world has been quickly adopting tech solutions, to face with the current situation, games restarts, players engagement. I just want to name a few here. One of the first sports event to come back to life back in May 2020 was an event in tennis tournament in Germany. And this was powered by automatic production by data providers such as Sportradar. We've seen in the players in remote training space with new solutions to engage remotely. And this is all done through technologies with progress also in computer vision and AI. This is a company, Playform, that's doing this for the soccer world. We see it in designing new fans experience in the stadiums, outside the stadiums. How do you, for example, provide your fans in stadiums the safest experience? And this is a company that bring in-seat delivery to the masses and avoiding the need for big lines. Another examples that I just want to mention is the remote production aspect. This is a company, LiveView, which allows mass scale production of events, but remotely, and this is thanks to the progress also in 5G and distribution. So we see a lot of those examples of integrating new technologies, but those are the 9 top trends that we've been kind of sharing, and we just published an article about it at Colosseum for this year. And this is, I know we're short on time, so I will be quick. First is esports, right? Esports as a key growth factor of the industry, and we see more and more sports team pouring into this world. And it helps, bring real life sports organizations to increase their audience. And we see many teams moving into platforms like Twitch to increase their community, to increase their engagement with the esports community. New forms of content will grow next to live events. This has been well understood across the board by the industry. And this comes back to the need of bridging digital and physical. This is an example that you saw in activation from the Super Bowl last week, where AR is being used to create new kind of content, new kind of interactions with the fans when they're not all in the stadiums. Disruption of traditional broadcasting with the needs for short span contents. This is an example of highlights as the core format of content that is being distributed. Doing data, not just talking data. Data has been at the core of the organizational strategy lately. But now, we have to go further and really build data-driven organizations. And it also applies to the startups that are building products with data at the core. And I'll just go quickly on the following ones: the emergence of virtual assets, which comes back to the monetization aspect, the applicable fan experience, and the increased use of technology for creative training and performance monitoring. And then just because we have experts on the line, new types of online and co-creation sponsorship. This is a case study from Burger King and Stevenage FC, which has made the headlines last year. And this is really emphasized the need for brand partnerships and sports and brand partners to really think of creatively of activations across diverse channels and across the online distribution channels. So just last one messaging is that at the core of this is the collaboration and the interaction. And when you ask actually industry leaders, they think that joint projects and co-creations are key in this industry. And this goes working with the startups. I'm very excited to see a lot of experts joining us and this event to come to life. And then also the rise of financial investors and private equity. Just give you this news that I saw yesterday. The Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund invested just $3 billion in gaming, taking millions of shares in Activision, EA Sports, and so on. And this really exemplifies that we have a rise of private equity pouring into sports, and this will bring more and more collaborations within the tech ecosystem and the startups. So those are just some of the messagings I wanted to share. Obviously, we're very happy to help. We have a lot of programs, events going on. Please do check our website, colosseumsport.com, to connect. Feel free to drop me a line and connect on LinkedIn. I'm very happy to be here to listen to these amazing companies that are building the future of sports. And again, grateful for you, for the team, and for our experts joining us today.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for sharing the insights from the industry with us. So let's pitch now. Each startup has 5 minutes to present its idea, business model, and plans for the future. After each presentation, we will have 5 minutes of Q&A session with the main role of our panel of the experts. Before we start, I have additional remark for the teams. I will say time after 4 minutes of every pitch to inform you that you have 1 minute left. So let's start. I would like to invite Ksenia from Lean On to start with the pitch.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ksenia.
I will share the screen now, and I'll start. Okay, I hope everyone can see the presentation. Okay, thank you. So, hello once again, I'm Ksenia. And with us today is also my colleague, Radenko Katanic, who is the founder of the company. We are Lean On, a digital ally in online fitness. I won't ask you if you work out. I know you do, and so do I. You probably also use a fitness app. What the fast-paced lifestyle started, COVID confirmed. We are turning more and more to digital fitness solutions. Still, even though there are tons of fitness apps in the market to choose from, wouldn't it be great to have your favorite personal trainer always by your side to push you to stay on track? So let's imagine his name is Tom. Tom is confident, reliable, and he works really hard to deliver you great workout experience remotely. To do this, he can choose to run his online business across multiple platforms, but that's overwhelming. He can turn to comprehensive solutions, but they are off the shelf and don't allow the customization that fully reflects Tom. Or Tom simply becomes a part of a marketplace or someone else's brand. That's why Tom would like to have his own app. Creating one from scratch is very expensive and requires a lot of resources, both for launching and maintenance. So Tom asks himself, shouldn't an app make my life easier? Shouldn't it help my online business run more smoothly? And we all agree, Tom is completely right. So what Tom and other hardworking personal trainers need to elevate their brand and manage business easily is a cost-effective and time-saving solution that is tailored to their business needs. That's why we have developed a SaaS platform for branded fitness apps that Tom can lean on. With a simple onboarding process and efficient customization, Tom's app is available in stores within 7 to 10 days. every feature reflects his expertise in a unique way, whether it's bodybuilding or yoga. Also, Tom wants to create great workouts for you and not spend hours on uploading his content or managing his business schedule. And with Lean On, he doesn't have to. He can manage both his content and his clients in one easy-to-use tool. As you already know, COVID has opened up a silver lining for every local fitness trainer to become a global celebrity, and our goal is to help them achieve that. Our target market are US-based personal trainers like Tom, who are highly active on social media and who have already branded their business or are eager to brand their business. And as you can see, our competition doesn't give these personal trainers their own app in the stores, nor provide their end users with a comprehensive workout experience. With Lean On, they can scale both their offer to their end users and their business. Our go-to-market strategy has two stages. In stage one, our approach has been based on direct email campaigns. And in stage two, we are adding content marketing, social media, and Google ad campaigns, and most importantly, affiliate. Our business model has two phases and two types of fees. An initial setup fee and a commission fee. Contract length is 12 months with 12 months renewal. In phase one, the early adopters don't pay the setup fee and no commission fee applies in the first 3 months. After that, we take 15% of net income generated from the users through the app. In phase two, we applied the setup fee of $1,000 US and the commission fee from the beginning of the contract period. So far, our product is market ready and our goal is to gain around 200 clients till the end of 2021. Our planned gross revenue for 2021 is $5.6 million with projection of $95.1 million in 2023. To achieve this, we have gathered a team of professionals you can lean on, whose athletic background has taught them to always go an extra mile for great results. And we are looking for a $3 million investment for further product upgrades, marketing, and sales force. So join us on our journey of becoming the leading global player in the branded fitness app industry and the digital ally personal trainers can lean on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ksenia. Thank you.
Okay.
So we can go with the Q&A session. We have Radenko here, founder, all together with Ksenia. So I will invite experts to ask questions.
And please, camera, to give me possibility to show myself, okay, if it's possible.
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay.
Okay, who will ask first? Julie, Raj?
I can start.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question just to clarify. The personal trainer, does he get like one specific app for himself, or he's part of an ecosystem together with other trainers?
What a personal trainer gets is basically a personal app, yes, for himself. It's a white label solution, but it's customized. So he, in the end, gets his own app that is available in the app stores under his brand name and his logo. And it's the app that his end users can download and use. What he also gets is customer management system and the contact management system as well that he can use to manage his content and schedule his clients, gain insight into sales, whatever basically his business needs to run smoothly.
Just to jump here, the idea is to give him possibility to monetize his digital presence on the internet through the network, but also to have CRM to run his currently business with one-on-one coaching sessions.
Okay, Raj?
What is the customization time? So if I'm a client and I sign up today, how long would it take before I have my own app?
Well, basically, you can sign up today you will choose between templates that can be additionally customized. It depends what you want, and it depends what, of course, your business requires. For example, yoga instructors maybe require a different type of a workout mode, for example, but still, whether it's yoga, whatever expertise it is, you can have your app ready in 10 days. It will be ready in 10 days in the stores.
And Lean On does the customization, or does the trainer need to do their own customization for their app? Is it self-managed, or is it a service that you provide?
Currently it's not self-managed. Currently we are doing the process, but the idea is in the future to be self-managed.
Okay, then one last question on my end is, you're relying on the trainer to market this to their own user base. So you're not providing a market system, ecosystem of users. The trainer is taking this app to market to their own clientele, their existing clientele, and build their own business with this app.
Yes, we are giving them the infrastructure to monetize their online presence that they have already, because as we stated in the pitch deck, COVID give them possibility now to become celebrities, and their presence on YouTube, especially on Instagram, they will try to monetize their presence on the network through our apps, through our infrastructure.
Okay, thank you, Reg. Alex?
Yeah, sure. So I just had a question, guys, on the decision you've made here to basically say you think the benefits of white labeling this sort of app development, allowing them to have a branded app versus let's say some sort of more centralized platform where I go and subscribe to different sort of trainer profiles that I like. I'm assuming the bet is that sort of personalization outweighs the, let's say, onboarding friction and maybe what Ray alluded to, and some of the difficulties in maybe building that community from scratch, or having the trainers go and have to market the app themselves. So for you guys, what was were you pulled by the market into sort of like, did you see when you talked to trainers that this white label sort of individual app experience was somehow a better strategic value for them than a centralized platform?
Yes.
Okay, Radi, carry on, Alex.
Yes, we saw that the demand Plank done that 2 years ago, but they had the problem with a lot of things, and we learned on their mistakes. Basically, when you see and when you go to our main competitor like Playbook, that is something similar that you are speaking about. You as a user don't know what you do. The app is not for the users to use the app. Our app is just for them to be over there. And the difference with us, for example, if you want to go in gym and to train, you will try to get your personal trainer who will, let's say, kick your ass, who will push you to the limits and give you the benefits of his training. And the idea of us is to focus on individual, because the trends and the communication with personal trainers, they are, let's say, pretty much satisfied with the solutions to be part of any other platform and to build any other brand. Now they have possibility, especially with COVID, with Zoom classes and with everything, they saw the potential
Okay, thank you. And we have one last question with Daniel. Daniel, please.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. When I look at this space, I think this professional person, he has two issues. One is activating customers, like generating the leads, and this is happening on Instagram, YouTube, and such. I don't think you're trying to fix this issue. And the second issue is retention. So once I have the exposure, I get clients, and I need to maintain that person as my client for so long. And it wasn't clear for me on your pitch what's the real problem that you are solving and what's your hypothesis to solve this problem.
Okay, firstly, the problem that we are solving in this case is that after the market research, after the first contacts with our clients, we realized that even though a platform that they already belong to, or the platforms that help you not only gain leads, but also simply manage your customers that are already in your base, they really want their own app, and their clients are asking them to have their own app. But having your own app in their mind is always something they need to put a lot of effort into, from the point of content, then to, as you said, retention and so on. What the problem that we are solving is that we want to help them have understand that having their own app is not an issue. They can have their own app. They can have a team that's supportive in every possible way when it comes to retention. As you asked, we can solve that problem by, first of all, giving them the layout of the app, the potential that they can actually use to monetize their content in the best possible way, with excellent workout mode, with different types of offers they can simply deliver to their clients. And once they can deliver great content, and one other thing, migrate their existing content to our platform is also very easy, then I think that that's, for first of all, a plus to have your own app and to be able to offer through that app great content in a simple way. Okay. I think that was the main issue for them so far.
Okay, thank you, Ksenia. We are finished with Lean On. Thank you, guys. It was great.
Thank you very much. Thank you on your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And I would like to invite Bragi from Serbian Icelandic Startup Score to start with pitch.
Hello, yes, hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please share your screen and yes, we can start.
Can you see?
Yes, we can hear you and see the presentation, so you can start.
Okay, no. So I'm Bragi. I'm the CEO of Score, which is the Icelandic version of Score, S-C-O-R-E. We are developing a new type of dart system for bars and restaurants, for people who want to, it's basically like we say, it's like bowling, except it darts. And what we're trying to do is bring like social entertainment to a new level by like giving bars and ourselves the opportunity to like compete in a new way to like get people to the location and spend money. And like Score for Dummies is like, you can see this unit on the left side. This is like a working unit where a computer vision detects the darts you throw. It counts the points instantly and give you like a graphical feedback. Tells who turn it is, like I'm up, you're up. We have multiple games you can choose from. And yeah, a big plus is you play it with normal darts on a normal dartboard. Few example of our games with the interaction, that is. So I want to spend some time on basically presenting you with a case study of an actual bar I'm sitting in right now in Reykjavik, which we opened in December. So obviously weird times with COVID and everything, but we managed to get a license and we can take in 40 people at once and operate until 10 o'clock in the night. And it has gone fantastic, to say, like, to be modest. Like, yeah, we are, so basically it works like this. You rent one dart booth for approximately 30 euros. And then you get either 1 hour of dart or 1.5 hour. And then the goal is that we are selling you alcohol mainly while you're playing. And yeah, so far, like since end of December, we had 400 dart sessions, which is like approximately 500 hours of paid sessions where people book in advance online, pay for it, and then come to the bar, play darts, and get some drinks. And this is just a quick overview of the booking online by week and the revenue. So you can see, like latest, it was a revenue of 8,000 euros in a week. And it's a good comparison. The bar next door had less than 20% of that. You know, it's within same restrictions and everything. And it's just basically next door and has been operating for close to 2 years. Yes, just some key numbers. Like I mentioned, the price people are actually willing to pay for this session to have a booked booth. The average group size that comes in is just under 5, and they spend each additionally 25 euros. So all in all, it's like 150 euro per session. We are extremely proud to say we have almost equal genders playing darts. You know, I guess, you know, people said we were crazy when our goal was that, but we believe it's for everyone.
Time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be quick. So this is basically our revenue projection per 1 unit in a bar, assuming there is no COVID restriction and the economy is Iceland. So we obviously have to adjust it for other countries. Our business model is either to do like this, have our own bar and operate everything, but that's obviously not a scalable and high risk, but probably the solution we will go with at later stage is to have it as a B2B solution and sell the units to existing bars that want to increase revenue. This is the estimated market. We estimate like in Europe, you could, in theory, have up to 40,000 units like this in different bars and places. Yeah, the roadmap, like I said, we already have one in Reykjavik. We want to open at least one replicate of this location, whether we are aiming for Serbia, as the part of the team is there. We're like 50-50. This is the great team with the technical and business experience for the last decade. Yeah, we are seeking some partners that can either help us set up or connect us to people which can help us set up more places, or you know, and we also are lacking in funds to take it
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm finished.
Yes.
Thank you for it.
Great. Okay, guys, we can start with the questions. Daniel, would you like first?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, this is very interesting. I'm one of those guys that go to the bar every once in a while and spend a few hours. And without a doubt, in the last few years, we are constantly checking our mobile because there lacks entertainment. So I can relate to that. When you think about scaling this business, right? What kind of challenge do you see ahead?
Well, mainly it's like what we have been contemplating is like, what is the good part about what we are doing now? Like we are in full control and like can keep everything proper and cool, but you know, that's of course not so scalable. So the goal is to, the main problem is to find like places that like we feel will give good impression, because you know we don't believe in like trying to sell this everywhere. You know, we want it to be in bars that make sense. not that every TGI Fridays, or nothing against them, but just to make an example. And the scalability is right now why we're also lacking fund is because it needs someone from us to set it up and kind of be there in the beginning. So we are not ready to basically ship you a box and you can set it up at your bar. So,
why not?
Just we are not at that stage in development, really. The system is working really functionally, everything, but we are quite small team, and we put a lot of focus in doing this proof of concept of the bar. And so basically we've just lacked the time and resources to do that part of the project.
Okay.
But we have a plan for it, but it's just not complete yet.
Perfect. I'll let my colleagues run some questions as well.
Okay, thank you.
Raj, would you like?
Yeah, so good presentation. I used to own restaurants and nightclubs for a while, and one of my portfolio companies right now is building escape rooms and VR, virtual reality entertainment pods. So the trend is millennials want experiential entertainment, and so bars, more importantly nightclubs, the business is dwindling because people don't want to, the younger demographics don't drink like we used to.
Yeah.
So they want entertainment, as Daniel said, like they lack entertainment, so they go to your phone. So the product I can see being a lot of demand for. The challenge I have with the business model is where you look at running your own bars, your own centers. That's very capital intensive. There's a lot of growth restrictions when you're looking at liquor licenses and other licensing requirements as you expand in different geographics. Yeah. You have to know all that. But focusing more. Go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot one slide I was going to edit, but basically the business model for the B2B version is like for this bar, it's partly owned by us, like 50% by us and 50% by restaurant owners, and we charge them 30% of all revenue generated from the dart system. So basically, you pay the 30 euro or whatever it is, and we take 9.
Yeah, so from a scalability perspective, like that is a better model or a package solution that you can just sell to the bars and restaurants. Your market just grows exponentially because you're no longer competing directly with them. You're supplementing your business. Yeah, but I understand that there is a lot of work that needs to be done to package it because it looks like a pretty elaborate system that you have there. It's not just something you send in a box and they just open the box and it's ready to go. You have to have it connected. But that is also a system where you can start to, if it's an IoT system, have it as a SaaS system where you're selling them new games or new experiences on a monthly basis. So I would just advise you to look a little bit broader into the business model and see if there's a way to give you more reoccurring transactional revenue with a box solution that you send to the customers or the bars.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
But good.
Okay. Thank you, Raj. Do we have additional questions? Alex, Julie?
Yeah, I have a question. So it's funny, you opened by saying it's like bowling but darts, and in my head, I actually think it's more like Top Golf but darts. It's Top Golf in the US has taken something like this and turned it into I think they did $1 billion in revenue last year, I think, and they were bought by Callaway. But basically, I think it's this sort of model of taking a traditional activity like this, maybe not one that was like declining as much as golf, but this is a fun activity, and I like this idea that you can maybe come up with different digital sort of twists on it and put it in a bar. That makes sense. But I think it would be cool to maybe take some inspiration from them and say one of the ways they were able to secure one of the ways they were able to grow so fast was capturing a big piece of the business community as well. So Topgolf became a place, a big huge chunk of their revenue stream are private bookings where people sort of book entire sections of it for networking events or things like that. I think it's, there's the business model trade-off of saying, yeah, it's super capital intensive to run your own full bar setup. But it also gives you a bit more control over doing things like that can be humongous revenue streams for you. And ultimately, a business like this, when you'll get super asset heavy, is likely not going to be a sort of a venture financed business anyways. It's more likely to be debt financed at that point. But I would keep that in mind and try and find a way to capture a piece of the business community that can be a huge chunk of revenue for you guys.
Yeah, like if I understood you correctly, or like, and this is also what we have been experiencing, like probably, I'm guessing now, but 40–50% of our current revenue is just businesses booking the full place for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever, and spending a lot of money, and like right now we're fully booked until next weekend. So like it's pretty quick to catch on.
Okay, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, just to finish. But in the end, what you're doing is you're transforming how the food and drink industry relate to this new type of customer. I think Tim in the beginning was talking about the new fan, but it's not just Daniel a new fan, it's Daniel a new consumer, right? So if I have the opportunity to go into a bar that I know I'll be playing for 55 minutes dart, I'm going to be drinking 3 beers and then I can have dinner afterwards, this is definitely like a top choice. I agree with Alex. It's capital intensive. Your piece of hardware needs to be state of the art. And this, your challenge is going to be distribution. How do you occupy the market faster than a possible competitor? Because, this is a play that there might be just one winner. Right. And in the end, you're building a community of dart players at the bar. So I like it. Well done.
Cheers.
Okay, guys, thank you a lot. It was great remarks and advice for the future.
Thank you, everybody. I have to open the bar now, so I won't be able to hear more, but thank you for the opportunity and best of luck to all.
Thank you, Bragi. Thank you, Bragi. So we are going on. I would like to invite Bojan from Ball Skiller to start with pitch.
Hello, everybody. I am Bojan. This is Nenad.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see us? Can you see us?
Yes.
Now
yes.
Can, yeah.
You can start.
Okay. We are a startup from Belgrade, and our story is about basketball. 450 million people play and train basketball in the world. There are 1.4 billion fans. It's increasing basketball popularity, and I can tell you they are so passionate people. What's the goal in basketball? If you want, goal is to score. If you want to win, you want to score, you have to know how to shot in basketball. But if you look on the one professional basketball team, you will see only 3 to 4 good shooters. We have the pick of the last champion in the NBA, Lakers, and you can see only 4 good shooters in that team. About 60 to 70% of the players have problem with shooting. Why? Because it's basketball shooting is the most complex move and very difficult for development. Okay, how players and fans can learn to shoot? They can engage basketball shooting coach, they can go on the basketball shooting camp, and they can teach yourself. What's the problem? For the basketball shooting coach, it's expensive. It's not easy to find available basketball shooting coach in the world. If you type on the Google, for example, you will find only maybe 15 to 20 results, and they work in the NBA team. And you need some special condition like gym. For the basketball shooting camp, it's expensive too. You need to play in it. Sometimes it's the time for the vacation, for the sea, and sometimes you feel like the small fish in big ocean. Nobody cares about you and about your progress. Teach yourself. It's not impossible because no knowledge, no experience. And now imagine 450 million people train and play basketball in the world. And now imagine anyone, anywhere, can just simply download app from the store for the free, and some friend, or for example, sister, mom, can record your shot by our app, and user can get personalized AI analysis and get recommended methods how to improve shooting. We are the project, we are the team who developing AI software using deep learning and computer vision techniques that can analyze, detect mistakes, and give back recommended methods how to improve your shooting. We want to bring basketball shooting technique closer to players just using the smartphone. And we want to be personalized app according to individual characteristic of every user. Our business model, we want to, from the beginning, be B2C. And after that, first upgrade to be B2B for the basketball schools, academics, clubs, and cups. We wanna implementing a dynamic pricing strategy. It's mean offers different price for the different customer needs. It's mean if some user want to spend only, for example, $15 to $20, we have a packet for him. If he want to spend more for his progress, we have a packet for him and others. Okay, we cross through difficult way for now to now. A lot of different fields, and we plan to launch our product for 4 to 5 months. Our competitors, Home Court is the most famous name here. They are very good app. It's also computer vision. They are for fun. They are very funny and it's good. We want to be education, and we can help the players who has the bad shooting form. They calculate. It's okay?
Okay. Time, minute.
Yeah, okay. And we get a very good team. I'm Bojan Ljubović. I'm an ex-basketball player, basketball coach 6 years. I worked in Mega BMX team who gave mostly NBA players outside the United States. We have very good tech team, and we have very good AI team. Some professor from University of Mathematics and ex-basketball players. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So we can start with questions. Julie, would you like to go first? If you have some question.
Yeah, no, with pleasure. I mean, having been at FIBA, I know very well, also as a fan, how good Serbia is and the tradition. So it's great to see that. Just one initial question: the fees that you mentioned, I didn't get if they are yearly fees, monthly fees, one-off fees.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's pricing strategy. For example, if how it's work? Player download app for free, and he record his shoot. Someone record his shoot, and for beginning, AI software will detect only mistakes, but it's gonna be
hidden, like blurred.
It wanna be hidden. You have 3 mistakes. If you want to see your mistakes, you have to pay. It's monetization. And he will get for beginning analysis of proper element of shooting and detected mistakes. It's, for example, $20. If you want analysis of detected mistakes and proper elements, plus recommended how to correct that mistakes, it's gonna be expensive. If you want same packet plus control analysis, is gonna be more expensive. But more expensive, but less price of the
from total sum.
Okay, but what I mean is, okay, but do I need to pay this every time I require an analysis, or is this I'm a member? It's a membership fee.
In development of shooting needs a lot of control analysis.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It would be paid once, but what Bojan said is in development of shooting, you have control phases. So he will come back because we need to retest him.
Okay, but if I after retesting I want a new analysis, I need to pay again.
Yes, but smaller price.
But smaller. For me, I mean, I leave it to the rest also if they have more questions. I like it. I think that's more a commercial idea than a business idea. It will be amazing if it's endorsed by a player or a former player or you know, a famous player, you know, that endorse all of this. I think it would be amazing for the market.
Yes, we have validated that, and we have also testimonials from Boban Marjanovic, let's say, and Miško Ražnjatović, the basketball agent, etc. So we have a lot of. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Julie. We can go further on with maybe Daniel or Raj or Alex. Daniel, would you like to be next if you have questions, or you're muted?
Sorry, yeah, I was on mute. You're not the first company trying to solve this issue. As a matter of fact, I've seen over, you know, more than 10. So my question is, why are you guys the ones who's going to conquer this market and make this product available worldwide? So what do you have that all the people out there trying to fix the same problem, what do you have that's going to make you a winner?
Okay, at first, you know, in Serbia, I have a big basketball tradition and culture. And I'm the coach who worked in Mega Benax, Paris basketball, Chinese youth team. I have my basketball camp. I have done over 100 basketball correction. A lot of strangers, a lot of players from other countries. Also, we have 3 more basketball coaches in our team, and we have very good AI team with big experience. AI team for deep learning and computer vision. Dragan is with us, and Bojan, can you let Dragan to
Yes, Dragan, you can come in.
You hear me? Hello all. I will jump in with the answer. What is the main opportunity for us over other our competition companies? Domain knowledge of Bojan and other trainers is the main value that we have. Why? Because we do not want to trace the trajectory of the shoot or to improve some movements within the shoot. So we want to improve and give him the methods how to improve the shoot. So it's more oriented towards educational application, which can take you to take your shoot to the next level, and not to just correct if you don't have the good technique, like you miss the shot or you don't hold the ball like you should. And other companies like Home Court and other companies that you saw, maybe, they just analyze the shot with some generic, I can say, values. What is that? Computer vision can detect how long do you hold the ball in the hand and other generic stuff, like time, your jump height and stuff. What is our idea, again, is to analyze the whole technique of your shot. Maybe I gave a little.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know for the respect, but they want to just to use the computer vision. It's not a good method. They don't know what's the proper techniques for every player according to his characteristic. It's very important. You cannot just use the computer vision if you don't know individual characteristic of players. I know for the respect, I know for the new stream, but I don't want to talk about it, but we have the knowledge to finish it.
Actually, guys, okay. So on this point on the knowledge of the players, I actually think so. If we talk about like the data associated with the players, and it's linked to a comment somebody made before about endorsement. So I think beyond endorsement, an easy way to have some bottom-up traction here would be like, for example, if you're able to tell somebody whose like shot they most closely resemble, I think for getting like virality among young players, especially, that would be huge, right? Because assuming you're able to ingest data, a video of somebody's shot, and you built a model somehow by watching data of people's shots, you should be able to say sort of how closely somebody's shot resembles one that you've seen in the data. And I think as a traction strategy, it could be huge for you if you could say, oh, by the way, the form of your shot, is closer to Steph Curry or to LeBron James, and you can change X, Y, and Z things to get there. And if you want to pay for a premium version, we can tell you how to do it. So I think there's a lot of ways you guys can get creative with driving bottom-up traction.
Yes, we were thinking about it.
Yes, because young basketball players like to
identify themselves as Steph Curry, as LeBron James. Yeah. You
Okay,
have a
guys,
point on that.
We have to stop here. Time's up. So thank you, guys. It was great. And the next one is Fenomeno. So I would like to invite Marian from Fenomeno to start with pitch.
Hello, let me just share the screen.
Yes, we can see.
All right. So I'm Marian, co-founder of Fenomeno. At Fenomeno, our mission is to make football better by enabling fans to crowd invest in football players. In our portfolio, we have two products in form of web and mobile application: crowd investing in individual players and crowd investing in teams from a football club, for example, under 18. Our first product, crowd investing in individual players, allows any player to start a fundraising campaign on our platform. A real-world example from this region is a player raising 30 to 50,000 euros and in return offering 5 to 10% of his salary back to the investors over a 5 to 15 years period. For the players, this product will provide a chance to get the needed funds to proceed with trainings, hire individual trainer, nutritionist, anything that will help them succeed, while we are enabler for the fans to earn money on their favorite sport. So even though any player can apply, the ideal target players would be 18 to 21-year-old players from third world countries, good enough to play in the first tier leagues in Central Europe, Russia, China, and so on. In order to identify these kind of players, we made a partnership with the scouting agency. The scouting agency provides a list of candidate players and also writes an expert scout analysis for each player. Having all this set up in the players campaign on our platform, the fan can see the players' videos, stats, the expert analysis, our Fenomeno calculator as shown in the picture, and this decides if he wants to invest or not. We make money by taking 7% cut from the raised money and then 15% each month from the money paid back to the investors. Based on this monetization model and having 500 players funded per year, the forecast will look similar to this as shown in the picture. I'll move on from here. So having that analyzed, we got pre-seed investment to validate if fans are willing to invest, if football players are willing to come to the platform, is it legally possible to do it and FIFA approved, and to build MVP to prove that money flow and legal contract are approved by financial institutions. So we validate all of these points. The scouts provided a list of 20 players. We contacted 10 players and we converted 6 players. 6 players signed letter of intention to come on our platform. We wanted to soft launch in April 2020, but unfortunately we didn't soft launch because of the coronavirus lockdowns. However, even though we didn't soft launch, we learned a lot and identified the following risk. The return of investment is far in the future because the main monetization vehicle is the player's salary. Legal contract with the individual person opens a lot of issues. This is the player in our case. In many countries, giving the player salaries in the gray zone, there are many tax evading schemes that exist. So these are all risks that we learned by interviews, fans and football players. But this leads to our second product, crowd investing in team from a football club, for example, the U19 team. A scenario for this would be a football club raises 100,000 euros for their under 19 team. And for that, the club offers 20% from the transfer fees, selling the players from that under 19 team. The target clubs for this model would be clubs from Southeast Europe, South America, North Africa, and Turkey. The problem we are solving here is helping the football clubs with finances, but and also engaging their fans to invest in the club, and thus having a win-win combination both for the fans and for the club.
Time.
The main difference with the first product is that the main monetization comes from selling the player, and that means faster return of investment. The legal contract is with the club, and the fans of the club, usually tens of thousands, will be our early adopters of the product. The revenue projections, when starting with 20 teams on the platform and gradually increasing to 150 teams over the next 5 years, looks as shown in the picture. For year one, we expect to have 20 teams, and the revenue is almost 1 million euro. So still, this model was clarified after I talked to Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, for that a couple of weeks ago. We still haven't finished proving our hypothesis that the football club won't and will sign this. However, the results are encouraging. We met with a couple of clubs and everybody is interested. If the validation of the hypothesis goes as planned, in the next couple of months, we will raise a seed investment round where we would ask 500,000 euros for 50% of the company. It's 3.3 million validation. Besides that, we are looking for someone that can help us open the South American market. Our pre-seed investors are Branko Milutinovic, CEO of Nordeus, and Alex Vrskides, CEO of Persado. The name Fenomeno comes from Ronaldo El Fenomen. And I think...
Okay, thank you, Marian. Thank you. Okay, guys, we can start with the questions. Maybe Raj would like to start.
Yeah, it's definitely some other experts on the panel that know football better than I do, but I've seen a few of these platforms. The challenge has always been around trust. How do you know that your payments are going to continue? There's also issues around tax. Once a player starts in Serbia, they get transferred to France, and then they got a career in Mexico. That money flow and tax issues, it becomes an issue in the business model. But the other one where I've seen some success is individual sports. So javelin throwers, shot putters, those type of Olympic athletes, they have a far greater challenge with financing their careers because of lack of sponsorships and no real serious monetization in those individual sports. But so I've seen these crowdfunding platforms work really well for those type of athletes, especially when they're getting their families and their close friends to help their career. But all in all, good presentation. You're definitely on the track to get some more validation. But the big issue for me is how do you overcome the trust issue and the tax issue?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, thank you. Julie or Daniel, maybe,
yeah,
Alex?
I can
Okay.
just a couple of comments. First, I love the name Fenomeno. It's great. I love it. I think I think the part of the individual player would concern me a little bit for all the indications that have been said, and the fact that an individual will need to disclose their salary, and I think it's more complicated. The idea of the youth team, it seems to be a bit more original for me. It's like a bet on the youth system of certain clubs that could be of interest. I think we need to work on the numbers each time. I don't know if it can be one fits all, on the sense that some clubs have huge potential, some others are really like a bet, and it's going to be a long shot to get a big transfer from them. So I think that's that's something that you need to consider probably. If the value of each club so that's one. But I think there's a more interesting line of thinking there on that business side. And then maybe it was there, but sorry, your model, like for the way you make money on all of these? How is it exactly?
On the second thing is also we take 15% cut from the money paid back to the investors.
Okay.
We copied that from the venture capitalist firms or
okay.
So sharing the wins, yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll echo what was said before, that other people may know football better than me. I'll take one example of football success recently that I think could serve as interesting inspiration for you is, it's going to sound like it's from left field, but a platform called SoRare. So I'm a bit biased because I used to work for a fund that invested in this company, but it does digital scarcity of football trading cards for players. So one of the side effects of this is basically it allows the community to price in some way the value of, like, let's say a yet undiscovered talent, and they price it by paying for a digital card that can be traded for a certain amount of money. This company is doing insanely well, and I think it would be interesting to think about how your eventual interaction with this type of business model, where you say, okay, maybe it's not directly financing a player, maybe it's I allow the community to price the potential future value of a player by betting on it in the form of, you know, purchasing a card up front or whatever it is. I think there is a model in which you can make this more of a community marketplace, that, you know, where you allow scouts and other interested people to discover talent for you without having to directly invest in the players yourself. So I do think it's an interesting model. There's quite a lot of money being dumped into football tech at the moment. I think there are other companies doing things like video analytics to help with scouting. So I think it's an interesting space, and I would encourage you guys to keep thinking about how you can maybe make the business model slightly more scalable in the sense of one of these marketplaces.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And Daniel?
Well, to be fair, we had a one-on-one session a couple of weeks ago, and I think I gave him all my feedback. But you know, I'm happy to see that you're exploring the other side, thinking about the club. I think it's more potential there. I think legally speaking, it's going to be easier for you to operate as well. So yeah, just like Alex said, there's a lot of money on the table in the football industry. Just got to be, you know, testing, validating your hypothesis, you know, pitching, learning from football clubs. And, you know, once you nail that angle, just go for it.
Thanks, Daniel. That one-on-one meeting was really helpful. One thing I want to mention why we didn't ditch the first idea is because we still think we didn't explore the fun factor from investing in individual players. For example, X Factor style of a TV show where 3 or 4 players will show their skills, and we know that's legally very difficult to do it, but not to throw to go around the legal stuff by putting some fun factor into it. We want to explore more. Maybe we will ditch it. Maybe we'll just do something fun with it.
Perfect. Congrats. Really well done.
Okay, great, Marian. Thank you a lot. And we are going with the next startup. So Vigor, I would like to invite Vojislav from Vigor to start with pitch.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Yes. Okay, we can see your presentation and you can start.
Okay. My name is Vojislav and I am Business Development Manager in startup Vigor. I joined the team almost a year ago, and in that short period, we accomplished many things which will be discussed later. I am in charge of stakeholder management, external communications, and project management overall in our team. The story about Vigor begins several decades ago when our founder, Mr. Vojin Plašić, was interested in training and realized the lack of representation of speed in strength training. Driven by this conclusion, over the years, he worked on and invented the so-called Plašić method, on which our functional training machine is based on. Our team is gathered around this idea because of its enthusiasm for sport and exercising. Our mission is to reach the field of mass production and to become a new standard in the gym industry. Our vision is to optimize functional training and thus pave the road to a safer and more efficient workout. We named some of the main problems of fitness equipment and all affected parties to which we can contribute. Current machines provide great inefficiency during workouts and gravity dependence with weight solutions, which result with a lack of force control through the whole range of motion. Also, the risk of overreaching the injury limits of muscles is crucial to emphasize here also. Based on these problems, on current conventional machines, we improved them and created our solution. We are developing a unique idea that radically raises physical training effects through a special mechanism of springs and computer control of its flow. Aiming to revolutionize the training industry, our product allows us to add a new dimension to exercise by incorporating speed into explosive training, as well as the introduction of IT technology. And it is reducing the risk of injury because it has no gravitational force dependence. I want to add here that experts in the laboratory and gyms performed validation of our force and proved that our mechanism is highly beneficial for training. On the screen, you can see a short view of our mechanism and how it's enabling the exerciser to choose and adjust the force he or she wants. Our primary service is selling or leasing functional strength training devices to the following target groups: our early adopters, professional clubs, sports centers, and gyms. The price of making one machine is 2.6k euros, and the intended selling price is 6k euros, which means that we are 30 to 50% more cost efficient than the competition. The list of other players in the field from our niche, but no one has a technology like ours, spring-based mechanism. Our machine costs less, and also the spring system provides a more constant force. The market is really big. 30 million professional sportsmen in the world, 60 million people, which are members of some sort of fitness clubs in Europe, with a tendency of increasing. And the market revenue in 2018 was 27.2 billion euros. Our target markets are USA, Canada, and Europe. Okay, our team consists of Vojin Plašić, the inventor and owner of the product and idea, Dragan Mirkov in a role of R&D executive. He is also a professor on faculty and sport of physical education. Ljiljana Plavšić is responsible for finance and administration. Milan Straka is our lead engineer, who is here also with me today. Dragan Bogdanović is our senior engineer with over 25 years of experience in mechanical engineering. Luka Evremović is responsible for automation and computer science. Strahinja Vavrenski is our legal executive, and I introduced myself already. So this is a rough review of our next steps. Execution of the functional prototype and the slow transition to the product prototype. We plan to improve our business model and create go-to-market strategy in parallel. Also, software part of the product and automation is essential. And as we speak, our team is beginning the final phase of its development. Till the end of this year, we plan to finish, or beginning of the next, we plan to finish MVP, which can be released to some partners, sport centers, and to test them. Hopefully by end of the following year, we will complete all preparations, product and no product, and we are aiming to get first sale to happen. So here is the preview of the things we need in next period. Some of the things are financial, some are advisory type. We need business model validation and scale-up advisory and go-to-market advisory. From the financial side, we divided our needs in 3 categories: R&D and documentation, sales and promotion, and salaries, cost of salaries. To get things done, we need investment of 80,000 euros, and we are willing to give for that 12% of equity. Imagine that the level of training remains at the same level as today. Technology and machines are all advancing, only human strength stagnates. Optimizing the methodologies and the principle of existing training is a necessary step that must be taken. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Vojislav. And guys, we can start with the questions. So who would like to start first? Daniel, maybe, or okay.
Okay, I'll jump on it. If I understood correctly, you guys have created the possibility to have gym equipment without the weights. Is that it?
Yeah, without gravitational independence.
And that's why you have that thing over there that you kind of stretch, and that's what puts the pressure on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so your motto is to sell to gyms or to sell to the end user?
To the gyms and to sports centers and to some professional sports clubs. So this is like much more beneficial to some professional sportsmen than to some recreative and amateur.
Okay.
B2B, in general.
Yeah, I ask you because there is a big trend right now to like at home fitness equipment. You have companies like Peloton and Tonal, and everybody's jumping on that. But you're betting that people will come back to the gym. Okay, but so let me ask you: you already have well-established brands in the space, not just well-established, but like they have a gigantic commercial force. They already have track record. They already know how to export, import, that sort of stuff. So, what's your strategy to penetrate the market? How are you thinking about getting your first 50 clients?
I think our competitive advantage can be the price, and I already mentioned that. And also, I'm like open to figure out these mentorships and workshops. But now that's the kind of answer I have. Yeah, and quality of course also beside the price. Yeah, what I also mentioned.
Okay, so you do think you have a new technology, you have an IP, and this technology allows you to have a very, very competitive price. Therefore, you're gonna use this to penetrate the market. This is the thesis, because this is a business that you're gonna need volume, right? You're gonna need to ship like hundreds, thousands of those every single year.
Yeah, and also the science validation from science. Already some we can like advocate our side. So we have also some wishes from some sports centers in Europe, Sweden and Russia and USA, and they are ready to take our machine when it's done, to try and to push also. So those are some hypotheses.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alex?
So all I would say is at this stage, I think in this sort of business, what will be really important for you guys is finding like a board level advisor that can help you on the sales go-to-market front. That you can have you guys can have completely revolutionized this market, but ultimately a lot of this will be about understanding the sort of target gyms that you can sell to, and really like understanding who they purchase from today, how they do it, what they typically are looking for in those decisions, because it may not be exactly the factors you would assume. So I would say early on, you should get in touch with people from very large sort of, I think the home gym movement is clear, but if you want to be able to sell to sort of the larger institutions, I would try and figure out early on what their purchasing decisions and criteria are, and understand how you can actually sell in a way that satisfies those.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Raj?
Yeah, for me, when I see this, it's essentially resistance training. And there's companies like Bowflex that have been in the at-home market for quite a while. What I fail to miss is where does the software come in? You're building a software platform. Is that to measure individual performance and tracking workouts, or is that more management software for the gyms and maintenance of the equipment?
Yeah, it can be both, but at first phase, it's also only for measuring. So to giving some smart feedback, your like movement is including or not, and later on it can be integrated with some training programs or
so the athlete or the individual would have a mobile app that connects to the device, and so it's measuring in real time the performance.
Yeah, or the colleagues application, like with application of some trainer, and he or she can follow their progress or something. But at the first phase, it's only for measurement and smart feedback. And
Voislav, can I jump in? Sorry.
Of course, Milan, please, welcome.
Okay. Voislav just explained the first phase. So the first phase will be classical interface, will be on a gym, let's say the guys who is training will see the parameter on the screen, how good was it and everything. On the second phase, it will be a completely new software upload, which will be some kind of artificial intelligence. So based on the way how the training is conducted, the software is set will learn and will allow or not allow adjustment on the force and everything. So, and also, let's say you're first time in a gym. So your task is to pull 3 times, I don't know, 2 kilos. So when you do it, the software itself will recognize your current physical strengths and it will advise what to do, how many repetition, how much force, etc. So ideally, it will gain in a way that will quickly adopt your personal physical preposition in a way that in the future, for the, let's say, next 3-4 weeks, you will get gradually optimal way how you can increase your strength. So that's the second way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
okay, guys.
The main benefits with the weight, you can have 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 10 kilos. With this one, you have everything about 200 grams. So I have 200 grams, half a kilo, 1.2 kilos. So I can also use that equipment in a case of injury. So I can fine tuning the weight and the number of repetition. We will also have a possibility, let's say you need to retract 1 meters and it's need to be done within 5 seconds. Our equipment with the sensor we have is able to say, is it achieved or not? If it is achieved, it will be counted as good one. You will have the green bar lighting on. If not, you will have the yellow. So in sometimes when the software conclude that you've done 3 inadequate movement within the sequence, it will stop and say, you need to stop, you don't need to be injured. So that kind of intelligence will be already implemented in the first phase prototypes.
Okay, thank you, Milan. Thank you, Voislav. Time's up. So we are going on the last but not the least startup. So next one is Server Bytes. And I would like to invite Dejan from Server Bytes to start the pitch.
Thank you, Brian.
You guys, cheers.
You saved best for the end. Okay, so may I start?
Yes, you can start.
Hello, my name is Dan, and I'm a co-founder of Server Bytes, a development platform that will change the way of creating games. I want you to imagine a game developer trying to create the next viral game. But instead of focusing on the artwork and gameplay, she's wasting too much time finding the right tool. As a result, one tool is never enough and countless hours of productivity and development are wasted. And that killer feature, there's just not enough time for it. We talked to other companies and their employees and discovered that they are all facing the same issues. The scope of the game is often reduced, the game is over the budget, or delays are introduced. In the end, we created a platform that helped us to solve the problem for ourselves. We were able to develop games much faster and deliver on time. We have validated our solution with employees from Nordeus and EA Games and game leaders in Serbia like Pixel, Weblinks, and Sozop. That led us to make the platform open for others and support other game types. And now developers can find most of the backend plugins in one place and integrate them in one click. Our beta customers from Exaplay had successfully developed and launched their first game on our platform, and they declared that it saved 50% of their time on the backend and managing operations. And most importantly, they were fully relying on one platform. Now they're developing their more complex game, and they will continue using Serbians. Reports from the Asian market has the largest player base and game revenue growth in the world. And current growth is 20% per year, and this trend is expected to continue. In the first year, our target will be medium and small game houses from Serbia and China due to locality and level of innovation in these countries. And then we will focus on other area of Asia and Europe. For an average game with more than 1 million players, game houses are spending more than $50,000 for services. And let's take a look at the Serbian gaming market, for example. 10% of the companies are producing 15 games with more than 1 million players. And based on that, our opportunity is about $1.8 million only in Serbia. During our professional career, we have used most of the available tools on the market. And the leading company is Photon with over 500,000 users. But as the technical lead at Rovi once said, they are good only for prototyping. Also, Photon is used in combination with other tools like GameSpark, PlayFab, and Firebase, since they support only multiplayer functionalities. Our competitive advantage is that developers don't have to worry about their backend and search for other tools. Server hosting will bring us most of the revenue. When more players play the game, our revenue increases, and plugin sales can generate either one-time income or monthly recurring revenue. And we will take a fee of 30%. And for our larger competitors, we offer enterprise services. Based on the numbers of the player, quality, and time that is required to create the game, we have classified the games as indie, professional, and enterprise. Our estimation is that we can reach 8.5 million revenue with 1,000 games in our platform. We are fully committed to this project for more than 2 years. We left our jobs at TopTal and CodeMentor, visited gaming hubs, and talked to other game companies in Berlin and Vienna, and made a pivot to accommodate our users' needs. And the team we assembled also included Mladen, who co-founded and exited multiple successful startups. In the past few months, we worked closely with our beta customers on testing. Currently, our focus is on the customer acquisition of local game houses and upgrading existing functionalities. Then we will look for a bigger market and provide additional backend features. 6 months ago, we raised a $110,000 grant, and that helped us to develop the initial version and launch. Our goal is to become a one-stop solution for backend game development. And to achieve that, we are looking for an investment that will help us to reach our revenue projection and enter new markets. Our vision is better games reaching the right market faster. Thank you.
Great, just on time. Thank you, guys. So we can start with last Q&A session. So who would like to be first? Maybe Julie.
Yeah, thank you for this. I'm not a gaming expert. I'm not gonna deny it. But my question would be more in terms of the market for your solution. Can you define a bit more who is the target, and even geographically, who would be targeting first with this, if there's such thing, or is this a universal solution for everybody? I mean, how you see that? It looks like a very open element to it, any developer can use, but is there more than that behind this? Is there more a targeted approach to make it grow?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for the question. So a lot of time I have that question. So we are targeting all developers. So every developer can use our platform. But at this stage, we are targeting mostly indie developers in Serbia because we want to dominate our market. and to validate the idea, to get the feedback from those guys, because they're incredible. When they say that something is good, the whole community will hear that. So we want to approach our market firstly. Then we will start with the bigger companies that has up to 1 million downloads, because we want to test the performance. We want to make sure that everything will work with the bigger companies. And then we will try to enter the China market, because most of the publishers are from there, and the companies that are working outsource for the Chinese publisher are also available here in Serbia, and some of them will start using our platform in the next months. So that's how we will try to enter another market. And at the end, our final target are the larger companies that have more than 1 million downloads, because they will bring us more income. So they are almost 20% of the entire market, but they will bring us 80% of our revenue.
Okay, thank you, Julie. And maybe Raj is. Okay, do you want to add something?
Yeah, no. So I've seen different game studios and companies building APIs that other studios can plug into and leverage. One thing I probably would have liked to have seen is maybe some screenshots of past implementations and executions of your tech stacks. I know there's probably some confidentiality issues and getting releases to show certain things, because some people don't want to let the public know that they've used a third party in their games, but some sort of visualization so you can kind of see the quality of your work and what type of traction you've had with other entities would be great. But all in all, like, the gaming industry is blowing up. There's huge opportunities. Everybody's trying to release as quickly as possible, and so third-party integrations are a quick workaround to get your products out in market sooner.
Thank you, Ray. Well, about the screenshots, we can send you screenshots after this meeting. And yes, the gaming studios really want to launch their games soon. So when they do prototyping, they don't want to spend their time on doing backend services and to integrate it other parts. So that's where we find our opportunity, because everything is in one platform. You don't have to look for other solutions and integrate all of them, spend time on different documentation, different pricing models. So that's how we help these guys to build their game in only 1 month, using only one platform, and they didn't have to look for other tools. Every feature that they needed, every plugin was on our platform.
Yeah, it just becomes a library of tools that they just pull from as they're building and developing. I don't need a screenshot sent to me now. It's just in your presentation, if there's some sort of visuals, like maybe even the watermarks that you have in the back, the background image, maybe that could be your tools implemented in a real game, screenshots of a game or something, just to show that you're live and you're actual in the market, and this is not just a concept that you're building.
Right. So think of us as WordPress for game development.
Okay, thank you, Raj. And maybe Alex wants to add something.
Sure. Yeah. The only thing I guess I would be curious about is, if you say you want to make it fully end to end, I think now one thing that's really sort of exciting in the gaming market is handling orchestration capabilities, as well as basically telling people, I will not only give you all the tools you need to make your game, and I will also help you orchestrate, like, let's say, massive usage of that game for particular events or whatever it may be. Do you have any interfaces, or have you thought about already how to interact with different sort of orchestration providers?
Yeah, that's really good. You found it really, really interesting. So for our enterprise customers, we have some kind of consultation that we are planning to integrate to help them increase their retention, to help them to keep the players more engaged. I can hand you over to Philip. He can explain you more in details. So Philip, can you join?
Yes, hello. So for our enterprise clients, what we plan to offer is a way so they can actually manage their own self-hosted servers, which are going to play with our managed servers. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we want to offer them a way to scale flawlessly. So if your game has a spike, let's say you created some game which is viral, we want to be able to handle that load without any input from you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Alex. And as I know, Daniel has already had a meeting with Serbian, so maybe.
Yeah, but
Daniel...
do you mind if I drop 2 comments?
Of course, of course, of course.
I think throughout your pitch, I was thinking about Shopify and how I can relate what you guys are trying to do to the gaming space, what Shopify has done to digital retail, right? I challenge you to think about not supplying game studios, but actually supplying game developers, people that are building games out there and just publishing and trying to make money and eventually grow into a business. And this is one comment. And the second one is, I think the timing that you're trying to raise 2 million is off. There is not much validation, even like early stage, like not even a little bit of traction. There's a lot of assumptions to be validated still. And you're going for a sizable check, which is 2 million. Depending where you go, especially if you're talking about the US market, the numbers are there. The numbers there are much higher than elsewhere. But like any early stage investor, in order to write you a $2 million check, will look at what you have done, not necessarily just like what you want to do. So I think that's, room for thinking there. Maybe go for a smaller size in order to validate, and later on go for a bigger check.
Thank you, Daniel, for advice, and challenge accepted.
Okay, guys. Okay, do we have maybe additional comments or questions? If not, I want to thank our experts for dedicating their time and joining us. I hope our startups have shown their potential and attract your attention, and that they will establish partnerships in the future with you. Also, I want to thank our participants in the audience for following us and giving support to the startups. Also, many thanks to our partner, Colosseum Sport, for their big effort in our cooperation, for their commitment and helpful advice in our activities with the aim to build a powerful sports tech community in Serbia. Thank you, guys. So stay well. I greet you all and stay in touch for the next activities. Thank you once again, all.
Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate you joining and taking the time. Thank you, Alex, Julia, Ray, and Bojan, and Daniel. Great to have you, and amazing. Thanks for the participants.
Yeah,
thank you all.
Take care. Stay safe, all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.